I'm already hearing that this release right here is already breaking records, and I knew it would happen. I called it, and the marshmallow reaction right after hearing that, seeing that first video. And just wait until the album drops. Like this, I said it was gonna go like crazy. I said it was gonna go massive, right? And that's already coming to fruition with just this second release off of the album. But oh man, I can't wait for this. Okay, here we go. MiSaMo, do not touch.
Like something so precious 貴重なもんも離れかす水守れないなら変わらないから注意 Never warn ya Miss Gas Road ちょっとだけ Hold on Special engineer Yes you can watch me If you love me But you can't touch me If you love me 心の準備整う前は Yes you can watch me But you can't touch me What I say It's okay Come to me first 립스틱 더 봐와 이걸 안 know it's a must 마치 모이란 lava It's great yeah. Let's wait yeah 想像甘みますじゃ女神の雨降る瞬間貴重なほどに貴重なものだと You'll find out Soon 俺はどこらいる出したじゃない悪いけどその瞬間来るその時も Yes you can watch me If you love me But you can't touch me If you love me 心の準備整う前は Yes you can watch me But you can't touch me When I say It's okay No you can't touch me 時までは sorry but Yes you can watch me But you can't touch me 美しいはずその時に体と心一緒に Worry about 過ごす時ある questions とは苦に今後いらなくなる理由すぐに来るは yes it'll be ロボ片付ける日 That's when I touch you You touch me だから wait for it Yes you can watch me If you love me But you can't touch me If you love me 心の準備整う前は Yes you can watch me But you can't touch me When I say It's okay
Oh man. There, I told you. I knew it, dude. I knew it. I knew it. I told you. If you watched the reaction, the little breakdown of the teaser clips, I told you. I said it word for word. I said, you go to an art museum and you see these works of art on display, and you'll have the painting there, and I said there's a little sign, and the little sign says do not touch. I freaking nailed it, dude. Like I told you, dude. Oh my goodness. This is as expected, it's quite a gorgeous video, man. And so what I noticed, like even with Marshmallow, right? These songs have a wonderful continuity to them. Like there's not drastic contrasts in the different sections. They tend to be very streamlined, like from start to finish. They build up nicely, the different rhythms and everything, as say across the mix, but they're actually really, really like balanced and fit. Like everything is going in one direction, kind of. You know what I mean? Like as it's going across its song structure, there's never these like sort of strong out of nowhere type of shifts in like a rhythm or a pitch or a timbre or so. Like it pretty much starts with one layer and then adds another layer and another one, and then sort of builds up into this into its overall like shape and sound. um but it's very cool, right? Like okay, so they're the you know how they want it to be a little darker, like they want to have a little bit of that noir type of edge to it a little bit. And the sound, it's fairly minimalist, right? Like Marshmallow was extremely busy. Like that mix was very rich. There was a lot of different sounds in it. Um, this one is a little bit more delicate, right? So again, and I knew this was going to be so good, man, so good, because the concept is throughout the entire production, not just the visual, not just the lyric, not just the composition, not just the production, but everything. It's a very, very well done concept, right? And it's artistic expression, right? Like it the just the every sound in the mix is very carefully engineered. It's very carefully handled. There was some really nice sounds in here. It's a great mix again of different types of instruments, right? Um, and the way that they blend together to create this texture and this, it's very cool. Like it's super cool, man. And visually, like, oh my goodness, like they went full girl crush, dude. Like this is like, I mean, I don't know what because if it's J-pop, so I don't know how those different sort of things apply across. Like maybe this is has a bit of a different interpretation maybe within like the J-pop sort of market, or however. um but but it's got that, you know what I mean? Like it definitely does. Like, oh man, very cool. Like right from the start, because you immediately get hit with like the visuals that you got from the teaser clips, right? Like the Sana's statue pose, you know what I mean? Like in that sort of cathedral like setting. I mean, like right from the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, we're in, right? We're in it now. And then as they move throughout the video, they're sort of going from these different, very well known pieces of art. It goes beyond my general knowledge of like visual arts, but you can see each of those things from the trailer clips. Those were based off of actual pieces of art. The Woman in the Veil and The Birth of Venus and so on. But they very obviously have like what was Mina was in some sort of Monet like pointillist style painting. Momo was like Starry Night there towards the end. Like there's referencing very, very prominent pieces of art, and also styles and movements and things. And it's very, very cool though, man. It's very cool. So this wonderful, clean electric guitar sound with plenty of reverb on it. It's very jazzy. It's very, very jazzy, dude. And still has a little bit of that lo-fi kind of feel to it, right? Like Marshmallow had like a little bit of that too. It seems like when they have these guitar sounds, they like to use that sort of production style, right? Like a lo-fi guitar sound. It's a little bit compressed. It's as if you're listening to like an older recording of it or something, but it's obviously a very contemporary, new type of instrument. In other words, very modern. Oof. It's okay. Oh, see, like, see what I mean? Like, it's such a good mix, dude. Lo-fi guitar in a little bit of these vocal samples that have some processing on it. Like a little bit of pitch bending there. And then Sana starts in with the vocals. What a clean start, right? Like she's let's see. So it has like a slight descending shape to it, but the fact that she starts up in pitch, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. It's just the end is like it's seamless, right? And then you get the snare, right? And it's accenting the second and fourth beats like you would, expect it to, right? It's very snappy. Like it's not a big snare sound. It has a very definite space that it's in, and then like the signal for the next sort of phrase or whatever, so we get this vocal harmonization, right? At first you just hear Sana, and then they all come in on the na, and it's their 3-part texture, right? It was perfect. It was perfect. The 3-part texture, 3-part harmony, and then it sounds like a staccato string sounds to me, like a very low, like a bass sound. You know what I mean? That's coming in now, and everything is detached. Everything is very staccato for the most part. So Momo comes in, right, with the rap part. Oh, so just like a Marshmallow, right? Like she's sitting so low in her register, and it makes for the smoothest like flow, right? Like it's so, oh, it's so like flawless, isn't it? It's such a, because her vocal has all this body, you know what I mean? Like it's what gives it a richer, fuller type of sound whenever she's hanging around down in that low end of her vocal register, and it makes these lines like just so fun to listen to. Like it's fun, you know what I mean? Like it's really, really fun. The kick comes in, right? Now we got this wonderful kick sound. So everything is so clean. In a painting, like everything you see in the frame obviously is done by hand, right? And this is a concept that I always, whenever I speak about like animations and stuff, everything that you see in the frame is deliberate. It's on purpose. Like it's there for a reason, right? And that same type of application is done with the way this song is put together. And so the staccato sort of styling reinforces the sort of minimalist concept, but everything is like so perfectly engineered and arranged and everything, right? Every sound in the mix is so pleasant to hear. The kick sound is so it like, oh man, it's just a wonderful pocket, right? Every time that kick hits, it's just such a fantastic little, right at the center of it, right at the center of it. It's just like, it's such a cool space for you to be in, right? And the same thing with the guitar, the same thing with that staccato string sound. Like every single sound in this mix is so just wonderful to hear, right? There's some other pitched I'm sorry, some other synth little arpeggios that are going on now. Like Momo's vocal part rhythmically is much more busy, right? Like there's a whole lot of stuff going on now with her vocal rhythm. So that's why it blends so well, adding in the kick there and even those little like arpeggiated synth parts in there. This is insane. You know how the because you know how the inspiration for the song is like those things that Mina would see people saying on the social media posts and everything. Like this is one of those shots. Like they were insane for this, right? Like this is insane, dude. Like, but you see what I mean? Like the girl crush thing, like it's full on, right? Like this is nuts, dude. This is nuts. So, oh, okay, the chorus section. So we get these really, it almost sounds like a synth organ, right? Bum, 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 bum. It's a callback to kind of what the guitar was doing at the beginning. A similar thing with the chord progression here. Notice how even the at the first phrase in the chorus section, even the vocal line likes to continue that sort of detached and staccato type of rhythm, right? Like a lot of the lyrics are sort of, it's like of these very concise little bits here, and they're not all. But now moving into the second half, the second phrase of the chorus part, now all of a sudden it's become much more legato, much more melodic, right? These lines have a definite sort of shape to them and everything. It's a wonderful build. Like it's so perfectly balanced, man. It's so it like every part of this mix is just it's so gorgeous. It's so pleasant just to listen to it. So we have hat work too. Busy hat work. This is insane, dude. This is insane. And I've seen like a couple of posts or whatever that, that had this I guess from the additional teaser, right? The beauty teaser. But this is like this is breaking brains, you know what I mean? Like this shot right here. Oh my goodness, dude. This is nuts. This is just like okay, wait a minute. I was like very distracted by the visual that was going on here. I need to listen a little carefully. So, okay, a bit of an antecedent consequent phrasing that's going on in between the two parts, right? Where Sana's has one of these legato, more melodic type of lines. Momo answers with something that is more of has an emphasis on rhythm, right? Her line, like again, she relaxes back down into that lower register, and it's a more of her rhythmic flow right? So a bit of a juxtaposition, another artistic technique, right? Between these two different styles of vocal delivery. And again, as the end of the phrase comes around, the sort of cadence of it is to have that harmonization as a cue. That's a signpost to let you know that that's the end of the vocal phrase there. And it sounds like it's a two-part harmonization between Sana and Mina. Because you have a call and response kind of juxtaposition going on between Sana and Momo, and as that phrase nears its end, Mina comes in, and Sana's voice and Mina's voice, create this very colorful, bright, warm type of texture, sound at the end. This warm type of harmony to signal the sort of end of that phrase, right? Oh my goodness, dude. So, did you hear that? So then, Momo's line comes in, her part comes in rather, and now the emphasis shifts back to rhythm. They kind of, they did a deconstruction on it, right? Because you had harmonization there towards the end as well, but there was another voice that jumped in, and I'd have to look at the line distribution to know for sure, but you heard it, right? Like they were doubling up on the actual rap parts there, the actual rap lines there. That it's very cool, man. That's very cool, right? It's a twist on the what they did with the harmonization in the first phrase. It's dude, it's like as cool, as sexy, as like beautiful as all this is. Like it's as much fun, like just plain fun, like you know what I mean. Like all those other things, of course, but it's also like just fun. Like it's just fun to hear this. So strings in there too. That what I heard, maybe it was more of a synth organ sound in the first chorus, but now I'm hearing like synth strings, definitely. It might be a combination, something a little bit higher, like a violin or viola type of string, and then something that sits more low to mid, like a cello or something. But and they're a bit compressed. So tend to hear them like high and to the left, kind of. But it has a much more of a strings like texture this time. The staccato, like bum bum bum. It's the chord progression is what it is. It's just that the way it's broken up and sort of detached there, right? But it sounds much more like strings to me this time around. With 808 bass also. Oh, that was so like right before this bridge section, the 808 sound came in, sort of like introduced itself, and now it's sustaining throughout this bridge section. It's so good. It sounds, oh dude, I gotta hear it again. What a shot, dude. What a transition. Oh man, dude, okay, so you notice these different styles, right? That they're kind of referencing here visually, like the pointillism, and then like the Starry Night sort of style here. All this bridge section, the emphasis is on texture for sure. The 808 bass, just being the foundation for everything else. These beautiful melodies, these high-end melodies that are going on in the vocal lines, absolutely gorgeous stuff. And then in the right, you'll hear these actually moderately compressed sort of synth arpeggiations coming in, and like, in other words, low end 808, high end vocal, right, and then the space in between starts to get filled with this sort of compressed synth sound that's coming in, and it all like you can feel it. You can feel like what's happening with the space there. And it's so good. It's all about texture and a lot of these visual art styles. This stuff that comes around like sort of late romantic period stuff into the sort of like modern period stuff, right? A lot of emphasis on texture. So it's very, very cool, man.
That's when I touch you, you touch me. The color, wait for it. You can watch me. If you love me, but you can touch me. If you love me, coconut 준비. 더 넘어와. Yes, you can watch me, but you can touch me. It's okay. 내가 talking. 난 it was sorry, but yes, you can watch me, but you can touch me.
And I knew it, dude. I just saw it, right? Like as I was watching the trailer, and I like, okay, putting this whole thing together, I was like, obviously it's about art. Obviously there are all these strong references to art, right? All the overtones are like these artistic sort of references and stuff. And I knew it, dude. I knew it. Like that's why I said it. I said it. If you made it to the end of that analysis of the teaser trailers, right? I told you. I said it. I described this like almost exactly. I said you go to the art museum, you see the painting, right? You see like the work of art that's there, and then it has a little sign, and it says, "Do not touch." I totally nailed it, dude. I told you. I told you it was coming. I told you. It's what was interesting to me too. Right. Okay. They have the backup dancers here, right? But you notice how there's 9 in total. So I'm not. This is just speculation, really. I'm just sort of like throwing this at the wall here to see if it sticks. But seem to be at least a passive way of referencing Twice, which is not the focus of it, right? It's just kind of like an Easter egg, kind of like a cool little like nod to it. That if you know, right? If you don't know, if this is the first time that you've ever seen anything at all, right? Like if you were just walking into this, you'd go, oh well, there's just background dancers, but this is a little bit of an esoteric type of interpretation where you, because I saw it and I said, oh, nine, okay, 9, right? Because like the group, like Twice, right? 9 members, right? But it's this subunit, it's this 3, and see how like the background dancers are all turned around, but they're facing the other way, and you can see actual profile of Mina, Sada, and Momo. It's like you can see a little bit more of them, a little bit more of their personality, right? Against the larger backdrop contextually of what is the group, and that's kind of the whole purpose of like the MiSaMo subunit, right? And man, but it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's like this is a thing that like that okay. So it's a thing that definitely Twice can do. It's like a quality that they have, and Mina, Sana, and Momo are kind of like that element in the group that allows or enables for this type of thing to happen, but it's like I was saying, this this whole song and video and everything, it's very cool, it's gorgeous, it's quite, it's sexy, it's quite enticing, you know what I mean? uh it's super stylish, right? Like very posh, very 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 sleek, right? Like it, but it's also fun. It's really fun, dude. Like this song, the video, like there's, it's all those other elements. Yes, like undoubtedly, for sure, absolutely. But it's as much fun as it is anything else. And that's like very twice. You know what I mean? Like that's like twice as fun. Like you have fun, right? Like if you I had fun at the concert when I listened to Twice music. I have fun. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy my time very much. And so it's a perfect execution of what they were trying to do. Yes, it's a little bit more noir. It's definitely a little bit more sultry. It's definitely got a little bit more of that type of edge, right? And they're surely showing you a little bit of the, like they said, the personality, a little bit of themselves that maybe they haven't been able to properly exhibit before, right? But it's a flawless execution of that. It's perfect. It's perfect because it's they still have that fun, you know, sort of the underlying thing. That's very much a part of the underlying quality of it. It's really fun. Like it's really fun, dude. And everything about it is just so perfectly handled. Everything in the mix, every part, like I'm saying, like a master artist, right? That has taken time to visualize the concept in their head, and then they go to work with their tools, right? The tangible part of it comes into play, and they're applying their technique, right, in a masterful way to make sure that the all of the vision is represented, right, within the actual work itself. And the finished work is going to completely express the idea, at least to the extent that they can articulate it, right, in their logic and in their imagination. And so I think it's absolutely perfect. It's like I said, it's one of the coolest and most fun songs, you know, that I think has come out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just is. And they definitely have like all the personality on display. They used their individual style strengths, right? Like everybody did that. Like, you know, Mina's parts and Sana's parts and then Momo's parts, like using her rap abilities, like her, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it was so well done. You know what I mean? And I wonder, cause Mina, you know, she wrote the lyrics for the song. Did Momo write her own rap lines? You know what I mean? It feels like it, like the sound of it to me is like, it feels like, oh, okay, well, perhaps Mina, you know, wrote the verse parts, the chorus for sure, right? And maybe Momo was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do this over there. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, but what if Mina wrote like all of it, right? Like, dude, that would be very impressive. But the way Momo's lines were, her entire like flow, her whole rhythm and everything, felt like her. It felt like that came from her, right? Like that was in her mind. But wonderful, so brilliant, like it's quite brilliant, really it is. The even the things like I was saying, the second verse, right, where you get the juxtaposition concept demonstrated by Sana's melodic lines and then Momo's rapping, and then the second phrase flips it, right? It deconstructs it and it flips it around, and you got Momo with the strong rhythmic delivery, and then it's doubled and harmonizations are applied like at the it's brilliant. It's brilliant stuff, dude. It's absolutely genius. It really is. Like it's perfect. It's a flawless masterpiece. It really is. It really is, dude. And yeah, just like just I I called it, dude. Like you know what I mean? Like I called it right down to this. Do not right down to this sign. But I told you. And the album's gonna be incredible, man. It's like you know, this song is already setting records. Just wait until the album drops. Just wait, dude. It's gonna be certainly for the region and for the market and everything, but probably even into the larger, wider sort of context. But it's gonna be one of the most significant albums to be released, like certainly in recent time. Um, Definitely since the group has debuted and all of them, all leading all the way up until this point and everything. But it's going to be absolutely just one of the biggest things to come from like a third gen K-pop group, essentially, right? Like this, it is the subunit. It is an offshoot tangent, from that, but this is going to be massive, and it's perfectly clear why. You know what I mean? Like, there's no doubt about it. This is why it was easy for me to call. It was like, duh, right? But yeah, no, this was perfect. This is perfect. Everything about this, from the absolute as bare essential parts of the mix, all the way up to your harmonizations and your vocal melodies, everything in between, all the rhythmic deliveries on the rap lines, the way the mix is handled, the way it builds up, the way it creates textures, the way it uses tone colors to represent different sort of ideas. Everything about it is a perfect execution of the concept. It is it's flawless. MiSaMo, do not touch. It's a work of art.